On July 23, 2026, Etsy's Senior Director of Trust and Safety announced in the Etsy community that the company was expanding listing appeals across more policy areas. That announcement came just 2 days after Congress introduced H.R. 9799, the Online Sellers Bill of Rights. 2 days. If you saw my last video about the Online Sellers Bill of Rights, this is the bill that could let an injured seller seek 3 times their damages from a covered marketplace. It also contains one beautiful sentence for anybody who has ever received a support reply that answered a question they did not ask. Generic or templated responses shall not satisfy these requirements. What's up, guys? Dave here. Check the description for helpful links like my free Etsy ads cheat sheet, as well as my add to cart SEO app that does your titles, tags for you, as well as calculates your Etsy profit, and a free 10-minute call if you would like to work together in my mentorship. Then, Etsy announced more detailed removal reasons and wider access to listing appeals. The timing makes this look like Etsy may be getting some machinery in place before lawmakers force marketplaces to offer a fair process. We cannot prove that from the dates, especially because Etsy says its appeal pilot started last year. What we can do is compare the two systems. How much of the process Congress proposed is Etsy actually offering its sellers? The official GovInfo record says H.R. 9799 was introduced on July 21st, 2026, and referred to the House Judiciary Committee. This is still a proposed bill, it has not become law, and the text does not name Etsy. There is also a real coverage question because the bill uses terms like critical trading partner and dominant platform without giving us a clean answer about whether Etsy would qualify. However, they are heavily implied. So Etsy sellers do not suddenly have legal rights, but the bill does tell us what some lawmakers think a fair marketplace punishment should require. If a seller is investigated, an account is deactivated, or a listing is suspended, a covered platform on this bill would have to identify the specific policy or rule it says was broken. It also would have to provide the relevant facts, reports, or documents, explain the proposed penalty, tell the seller how to appeal, and give them an expected timeline for resolving that appeal. Now the seller has an actual case to answer. The bill also says a platform could not suspend a seller, deactivate an account, withhold inventory, or freeze funds solely on suspicion. The burden of proving the violation would sit on the platform. And if the platform violated the law and injured the seller, the bill would create a private right to sue in federal court despite a mandatory arbitration agreement. The seller could recover 3 times the damages, the cost of the lawsuit, and a reasonable attorney fee. This is exactly why this bill got my attention. A vague support reply becomes much less adorable when it could cost 3 times the damage that it caused. Etsy's July 23rd announcement starts with the policy violations page. Etsy says sellers will now see more detailed reasons explaining why a listing was removed and how to stay compliant in the future. The company also says it is expanding listing appeals to more policy areas and more sellers. The original pilot began last year with creativity standards violations and a limited group of sellers. By the end of 2026, Etsy says all sellers will have access to appeals across most policy areas. Most policy areas. That wording leaves exceptions. It also means the rollout is still happening, so a seller who loses a listing today may not see the same options another seller sees. Etsy is telling sellers to check their appeal options before creating a replacement listing. According to the announcement, an appeal lets the seller share more context with Etsy and may help avoid another policy violation and another listing fee. Etsy says its goal is to make policy decisions easier to understand and easier to review when the company gets one wrong. If Etsy delivers on that, sellers should spend less time guessing. Now it has to work when an actual seller is staring at an actual removal. Congress and Etsy are talking about the same basic pieces, a stated reason and a way to challenge the decision. Etsy says sellers told it wanted more detail about why a listing violated a policy and what to do next. More specific removal reasons could make an appeal far more useful because the seller can respond to the thing Etsy actually flagged. If Etsy says the problem is how the item was made, the seller can answer with process evidence. A prohibited item notice calls for a response about the product and that specific rule. When the notice stays vague, the seller is still trying to fight a shadow. The bill's language about generic templates matters here. An appeal button is only useful when the seller knows what case they are supposed to make. The July 23rd announcement does not promise every protection in HR 9799. The post makes no promise that Etsy will give a seller every fact, report, or document used in the decision. It also leaves some policy areas outside the promised rollout. Nothing in the announcement creates outside review, moves the burden of proof to Etsy, or gives a seller a court remedy when the process fails. Etsy still writes the policy, makes the decision, decides which appeal options appear, and reviews the challenge inside its own system. Even with those limits, better reasons and wider appeal access can help a seller fix a real mistake or correct a bad removal. So let's hope that Etsy actually makes a change here. Etsy has announced part of the process Congress described while keeping the final power inside Etsy. And the rollout language matters. All sellers sounds broad until it is followed by most policy areas and a deadline at the end of 2026. The real test is what appears in a seller's policy violations page before that deadline, how specific the reason is, and whether the review responds to the evidence the seller submits. So of course, this gives sellers one useful move right now. Save the proof behind your listings while the shop is healthy. Don't break the rules, don't resell, don't dropship on Etsy.com. Keep original design files and earlier drafts. Save material receipts, supplier records, production partner communication, and version history when those records apply to your product. Photograph your workspace, tools, materials, stock, and packaging. Record parts of the process you would want Etsy to understand if a listing were ever questioned. And if you actually make your stuff, put that in your branding, in your images. Etsy is supposed to be a handmade human marketplace. If you have that in your listings, you look even better than the next shop. If a removal happens, save the full notice before changing the listing. Read the exact reason Etsy gives you, if they give you one, then answer that issue with the cleanest evidence you have. Do not bury the useful proof under a 12-paragraph rage letter. I understand the rage letter, but I may even support writing it somewhere else. The appeal itself needs to make the evidence painfully easy to follow. None of this guarantees that Etsy will restore a listing. It gives you a much better case than trying to rebuild 6 months of proof while your product is already offline. So honestly, the test comes next. Now the appeal system has to face a real seller case, and we have to hear about it or see it on Reddit to really, as a community, see if it's going to make a big change. A marketplace can damage a business with one decision while the seller struggles to learn what happened or how to challenge it. In my last video, I said a platform should not be able to erase your income faster than it can explain why. And Etsy has now promised one more explanation and more chances to appeal. So let's watch what sellers actually receive. If the reason is specific and the review deals with the evidence, that's real progress. If the new system is a nicer page wrapped around the same useless replies, the proposed bill already says the template is not good enough. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and I hope you have a beautiful day.